What's going on, Dream Team? It's time for our digital huddle today. And listen, what a cool weekend we have. It is back to school Sunday. Let me tell you, this Sunday is going to be the best Sunday. Back to school Sunday is always an amazing time where at the end of the service, we get the opportunity to pray over all the children, pray over all the youth, over all the college students. Over all the faculty, the bus drivers, the homeschool parents, everybody before they start this new school year. So make sure you're there this Sunday. And then we have some special elements all in the lobby as well to really support you as the parents in leading your children in the ways of the Lord. And so make sure you are here this Sunday. It's going to be a great Sunday at GC. And then we are also starting a brand new series called Next is Now. Now, you don't want to miss the series. As you know, we're going to be talking about what is happening now because we've been praying over what is next. And so make sure you're here for the whole series. It's 2 weeks long. It's going to be incredible. You'll also hear us this weekend for the next couple weeks talking about Alpha. Alpha has a special event this year, the first time we've tried this, called A Taste of Alpha. It's happening on the 18th at Tuesday night, 6:30. It's over at Carmine's. And so I want to encourage you, be a part of that. Bring someone who maybe is questioning God or doesn't have a relationship with God. Maybe even go just by yourself and like learn about what Alpha is all about. But Taste of Alpha is a chance for you to get a taste of what Alpha really is before their semester starts on September the 1st. But make sure you're there. And then also Freedom. You're here talking about that. All the Freedom groups are online. So you can start signing up for those before they all fill up and all those things because groups start in September. Freedom starts on the 23rd of August, but groups as a whole will begin that first week of September. And so if you want to lead a group of any kind, make sure you talk to me or sign up online and do all the things because all of that's coming up real fast. Lots of stuff happening. I don't want you to miss any of it. You may have noticed we even started our newsletter that we send out has now become weekly instead of monthly because that way it's short and sweet and you can stay connected with everything real easy. But for today, listen, today's huddle, I want to continue what I was talking about last week. Last week, I talked about the importance of discipling, right? We talked about how it's so important for us to disciple other people and how Jesus calls us really to disciple others. And a healthy, growing church needs to be full of people willing to disciple other people. We're not just trying to do everything on our own. And so today, I want to talk about how growth, regardless of if it's talking about growth here at the church or growth in your workplace or whatever it may be, I want to talk about how growth requires change. Now, the truth is this is that many of us we don't like change, right? We don't like change. It can be uncomfortable because change is always really kind of like embracing the unknown. But really, honestly, if you are going to have a healthy organization, if you're going to have a healthy church, change is something that we have to fully embrace. And one thing I like to say is this I said this at my last church as well is that if it ain't broke, maybe it's time to break it. So let me ask you this question right here. If our church doubled in attendance in the next year, what would immediately break on its own? Without you trying to break it, what would immediately break on its own if our church doubled in size in just a year? And I'm not just talking about the walls breaking, I'm talking about our systems and structures, right? It's an important question because healthy growth always creates new challenges. And one of the biggest mistakes organizations make or churches make is assuming that what worked in one season will always just work in every season and forever. And the reality is that what worked with 250 people didn't work anymore with 500 people. And what works with 500 people is not going to work when there's 1,000 people. Growth always requires adjusting. Growth always requires flexibility. And growth requires new leaders and new structures. See, growing churches and growing organizations don't wait for systems to fail before they start improving. They prepare for where they're going, not just where they currently are. And I'll tell you, one of the biggest barriers to growth, a lot of times, at least what I've seen, is over control. Sometimes we think, and I know I've thought this before, I'm guilty of it, but sometimes we think Well, nobody can do it as well as I can, right? Nobody understands the vision like I do. Have you ever said that? I know I've said that before. Said things like, nobody will care about it as much as I do. And maybe today that's true, but it will never change if we never give people the opportunity to grow. See, if we're always doing the work ourselves, we may accomplish today's ministry, but we'll limit tomorrow's mission. We get it done today, but ultimately, we don't get where we were trying to go. That's why our value isn't found in doing everything. It can't be. Our value has to be found in developing other people. The youth night last night was a great example of this. Seeing those young people up there speaking and leading and doing all that they were doing, that's developing the next generation, letting them lead today because they're going to be leading completely tomorrow. So, as leaders, like we have to be constantly asking ourselves, what responsibilities am I holding on to too tightly? I asked our staff the same question. What are you holding on to too tightly? What do we need to open our hand to? Because what could I hand off? Who could I coach? Who could I empower? See, the goal isn't just to add more positions to all the different dream teams. It's not just to add more places for people to serve. The goal is to connect people to the body of Christ and then disciple them all along the way. That's how healthy churches grow. And so, listen, today, this is what I want to challenge you to do. I want to challenge you to open your hand, to find ways to give things away, to find ways to disciple other people, because that's how we continue reaching more people with the gospel. See, I want us to really ask ourselves, what am I doing that someone else could be learning? And then I want us to begin to create opportunities for that person to grow into the leader that God has called them to be. So listen, guys, I love you. I love serving with you. I love our teams. I just want us to have healthy teams so we can have a healthy church and see it grow the way that God has intended it to grow. I can't wait to see you this weekend. It's going to be a great day in church. I cannot wait to begin this new series. Next is now. I can't wait for you to see what's happening soon at GC. I'll see you this Sunday.